Pro Football Network's top 5 cut candidates ahead of NFL free agency. We know it's cap season, folks, so that means teams will need to restructure or move on from players to create additional cap space for NFL free agency. Starting off here at number 5, we take a look at Los Angeles Chargers offensive tackle Brian Bulaga. Now, he was an acquisition for them a couple of years ago. However, he has only played in 11 of the Chargers' 33 games in which he's been under contract with the team. Now, he's entering his third year of his contract, and he's accounting for $14.1 million towards the cap. His base salary, though, of $8.25 million is not guaranteed. The Chargers could save $10.8 million if they do release him, and that would only leave around $3.3 million of dead money for the Chargers. But it's important to note, Mike Williams is one of the top priorities for the Chargers here in free agency, creating some additional space. Could bring him back. Coming in at number 4, we take a look at Seattle Seahawks veteran linebacker Bobby Wagner. Now, could the Seahawks be approaching a rebuild in Seattle? I think it's an interesting question, but Pete Carroll is back. There's a lot of uncertainty about Russell Wilson. Now, if Russell Wilson stays, you can almost imagine, hey, Bobby Wagner is a key part of what they want to do defensively. However, when you look at his cap, they could save nearly $16.6 million in cap space by cutting Bobby Wagner, or his value to the team on the field has been very significant. They could extend him and obviously negotiate a contract that's very team-friendly in terms of cap, or they could look to find a trade partner that would be willing to take on his contract, and they could get some compensation in return. Bobby Wagner, an interesting one to keep an eye on in Seattle, coming in at number 4 on PFN's top 5 cut candidates. Coming in at number 3, Las Vegas Raiders quarterback Derek Carr. Could he be potentially cut here? Well, it doesn't seem very likely, especially with the new coaching regime. However, it is appealing to look at. Being a top 5 passer in the NFL in 2021, he had a 23-14 touchdown to interception ratio, and the Raiders dealt with a whole bunch of drama last season. It really had nothing to do with Derek Carr. They could save $19.9 million in cap space if they release Derek Carr. However, the Raiders, they could also work on a contract extension. A new head coach in Josh McDaniels, Derek Carr could be the perfect quarterback for him, but there's also been a reported rumor that they are working towards a contract extension, so that could help out with the salary cap situation in Las Vegas. Number 2 here, Kansas City Chiefs defensive lineman Frank Clark. Now, the Chiefs, they have a multitude of free agents, key free agents that they must prioritize. When you look at Frank Clark, he will account for $26.3 million against the Chiefs cap here in 2022. They could save $12.7 million by deciding to move on. Now, he's had 10.5 sacks in the last 29 regular season games. They've brought over other guys like Melvin Ingram. They moved Chris Jones back to the inside, and they've had more productivity from the other guys stepping in to those roles outside of Frank Clark. Could he be a cut candidate here for the Kansas City Chiefs? Coming in at number 1 on Pro Football Network's top 5 cut candidates ahead of NFL free agency, we take a look at San Francisco 49ers quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, going into the offseason here, none of his contract is fully guaranteed. Of his $27.1 million cap hit, his $1.4 million prorated signing bonus would remain as dead money if he was in fact cut. Could the 49ers renegotiate with Jimmy G to reduce his cap hit, or would there be another team out there on the free agency market in need of a quarterback that would be willing to take on his $24.1 million salary for 2022? Interesting options ahead here, especially with some of the rumors flying around about Jimmy G and whether or not the 49ers are actually going to move on from him. But this has been Cody Rourke, and this has been your top 5 NFL free agency cut candidates.